give us an opportunity to advance more. Sham Sundara and Tamal Krishna Goswami flew back to Bombay with Mr. N that afternoon. According to the new terms, ISKCON would pay Mr. N the 5 lakhs of rupees for a government tax, and in return, Mr. N would execute the deed. But there was also a new time limit, 3 weeks, and the devotees would have to work fast. Prabhupada himself would soon come to Bombay to settle the matter once and for all. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Is there from to read something from the folder? So today, I believe, is the disappearance day of Sri Ramanujacharya. I don't know. Oh, okay. Srila Madhvacharya ki jai, Srila Ramanujacharya ki jai. Might continue with Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. So we continue with our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 15, and this text 24. Drishyamana vinarthena na drishyante manobhava karma bhidhyayato nana karmani manaso bhavan drishyamana vinarthena na drishyante manobhava karma bhidhyayato nana karmani manaso bhavan drishyamana vinarthena na drishyante manobhava karma bhidhyayato nana karmani manaso bhavan. Drishyamana vinarthena karma bhidhyayato nana karmani manaso bhavan. Drishyamana vinarthena na drishyante manobhava karma bhidhyayato nana karmani manaso bhavan. Drishyamana vinarthena न दृश्यन्ते मनोभव कर्मभिर्ध्यायतो नाना कर्माणि मनसो भवन् दृश्यमाना being perceived vina without arthena substance or reality na not drishyante are seen manobhava creations of mental concoction karma bhi by fruitive activities dhyayata meditating upon nana various karmani fruitive activities manasa from the mind abhavan appear. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki. These visible objects like wives, children, and property are like dreams and mental concoctions. Actually, what we see has no permanent existence. It is sometimes seen and sometimes not seen. Only because of our past actions do we create such mental concoctions, and because of these concoctions, we perform further activities. Purport. Everything material is a mental concoction because it is sometimes visible and sometimes not. At night, when we dream of tigers and snakes, they are not actually present, but we are afraid because we are affected by what we envision in our dreams. Everything material is like a dream because it actually has no permanent existence. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes as follows in his commentary Arthena Vyagra Sarpadina Vineva Drishyamana Swapna Adi Bhange Sati न दृश्यन्ते तद एवं दाराद्ययो वा- वास्तव वस्तु भूता स्वप्नुदयो वस्तु भूताश्च सर्वे मनोभाव मनोवासना जन्यत्वान् मनोभाव. At night, one dreams of tigers and snakes. While dreaming, he actually sees them. But as soon as the dream is broken, they no longer exist. Similarly, the material world is a creation of our mental concoctions. We have come to this material world to enjoy material resources, and by mental concoctions, we discover many, many objects of enjoyment because our minds are absorbed in material things. This is why we receive various bodies. According to our mental concoctions, we work in various ways, desiring various achievements, and by nature and the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Karmana Deva Nitrena, we get the advantages we desire. Thus, we become more and more involved with material concoctions. This is the reason for our suffering in the material world. By one kind of activity, we create another, and they are all products of our mental concoctions. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपा बुद्धिर्य तमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातं हम वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So, meditating on the lotus feet of the deities, meditating on Srila Prabhupada, and kindly seeking your blessings. We discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, and I pray that I be the first listener of Srimad Bhagavatam. Fascinating translation, fascinating purport. Uh, Prabhupada's purport, they bring the reality out definitely. Particularly, perhaps in this purport, we try to understand Maya a bit. It is, although it is very difficult to understand Maya, or it is not so worthwhile understanding Maya. It is much better understanding Krishna. It is a bit simpler understanding Krishna than understanding Maya. But what to do? Conditioned soul, na? Conditioned soul. Until and unless we understand Maya, we cannot understand Krishna. I might say this in Hindi. It's in my coming in my mind now. So, and you may please laugh after I say. Huh? माया जिसे कोई समझ नहीं पाया. माया जिसका कोई पार नहीं पाया, माया जिसको कोई समझ नहीं पाया, माया जिसे कोई भोग नहीं पाया. Isn't it, Jayananda Prabhu? Maya, someone who could never understand. Yeah. Maya, someone who could never enjoy. Maya, someone who could never come over, say. So that is Maya. What does Prabhupada define? What is the definition of Maya? That which is not. Now, what is it that which is not? Hmm? Well, reality is still there. Reality is existing. We are in reality, although temporary, but it is still real.
It's not Krishna.
Yeah, not Krishna. Still, it's Krishna's energy. Krishna himself says, right? Devi esa gunamaya maya. My divine energy. For Krishna, nothing is matter. For us, it is Maya. But for Krishna, it is not like, okay, Maya and not Maya. So that which is not, what is that thing which is not? If I'm saying something also that, but which is not. Taking our suffering to be enjoyment, very nice. Anymore, that which is not. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, ये ही संस्पर्श जा भोगा दुख योनय एवते आदि अंतवंत तु कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा. If Panchatattva Prep, if you do not know this verse, maybe should learn this verse. I think Panchatattva Prabhu knows though. So Krishna says Bhagavad Gita 5:22. Yehi samsparsha jab hoga. So by contact, samsparsh, by coming in contact with material objects and say, uh, um, and this is like since eternity. Dukkha yonaya evate. That what we see as a source of enjoyment is actually a source of misery. And look how beautiful Krishna is, how caring Krishna is. The best devotee care Krishna is giving to Arjuna, the best devotee care. By not humiliating or insulting him. Krishna says what? An intelligent person does not take delight in him. So Krishna is expecting what, Arjuna? To be intelligent. That you are actually intelligent. Come up to that level. Not chastising or degrading or humiliating or condensating that, oh, you're such a fool, you are taking. No, not like that. Huh? That an intelligent person does not take delight in it. That which has a beginning and an end. We do not take delight in something which has a beginning and an end, and which is a source of misery. Adi antavanta konteya na te suramate Buddha. So for us, we should not be taking delight in that. Now, Maya. What is Maya? That which is not. Then Prabhupada in his writings, in his teachings, he explains what? He gives very good examples. Mirage. What is mirage? What is mirage? Anyone here seen mirage? Jayananda Prabhu Panchatattva Pe. Okay. Mirage, it can be seen like in desert place, and say walking or driving in desert place where because of the reflection of the sun, It appears that there is water there at a distance, and it looks like, yes, there is water there, but that which is not. Now, a question. Is it correct to say that there is water, like there is water in the mirage? What I'm seeing water in the mirage. Is it correct to say that yes, I see mirage, I see water in the mirage, there is water in the mirage? It's correct to say, yes, I'm seeing water in the mirage, I see it. But to think that there is water in the mirage and chase after it, no, chase after water, that yes, there is water and I'm going to quench my thirst from it, that is Maya, that which is not. It is there, water is there in the mirage. Otherwise, how can I, why will I not say? Why do people say that there is water in the mirage? Otherwise, why is the mirage? Where is the water? Why no? It is there. But to think the chase is the problem, chasing after that water, thinking that yes, that water will quench my thirst. That is the, then that is Maya. As long as reality is what? Seeing things as they are. Yes, it is correct to think and correct to say there is water in the mirage. I can see it, water in the mirage. But if I, that seeing makes me understand that yes, there is happiness. This is the world we live in, social media and everything, right? Buy things, these things make you happy, make you happy. This will make you happy. This will. So where am I platform? Where am I setting the foundation? And this is in line with Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, chapter 15, the shloka and the episode which is going on. Very political episode going on, isn't it? Like the king also having a son, no problem in having a son, no problem in getting married, having a son, and also having that affection and this. But investing one's all hope and thought that yes, this son is going to make me happy. Then laying that foundation there, that is Maya. Prabhupada in his writings writes like what? Rope and snake. Hmm? To take a uh, rope to be snake. Now, sometimes we may see, right, or something waking up early in the morning or in the middle of the night, there could be something, a toothbrush, and I may take it as lizard. So that is fine from a distance, or looks like lizard and all. But to take it as lizard, understand or believe it as lizard and get scared or shout, then yes, oh, I got in Maya. So from a distance, yeah, rope looks like a snake. But is it snake? So also get thinking something that this will make me happy and running after it, that is the problem. As long as I can from a distance see it, yes, okay, actually appears to be water, but it is actually not water. There's a great deal of difference between reality and appearance. Great deal of difference. This is the difference between internally Krishna consciousness and externally Krishna consciousness. What is real and what is apparent. And practicing Krishna consciousness, I better wake up to the reality. There's no point in living as in the apparent. Apparent. This is what apparently real world. Apparently, this is a material world means a dream which is to be broken, which will break at a point in time. This dream will break at a point in time, and spiritual realm means ongoing dream, never breaks, never breaks. Ongoing, continuous, permanent dream. So Maya, no? Who could enjoy Maya? None, none. And yes, enjoyment Krishna is very much there, is very much there. So if I actually understand there is water in the mirage, yes, there is water in the mirage. But if I run after it thinking that this will quench my thirst, that is the problem. Now, to see a girl, a woman as beautiful, is it Maya? No. If someone is beautiful, it's beautiful. Someone is handsome, handsome. Someone is intelligent, someone is strong built. No? Miss Universe, Mr. Universe, what is wrong? No, yes. But if we can just leave it there, but to see that, okay, yes, someone is beautiful and that someone will complete me. Ooh, now getting into a dangerous proposition. Yeah? Step by step, getting perhaps into a dangerous position. To think that, yes, someone is beautiful and someone can complete me. No, that is then Maya. So be very careful, King Chitraketu, and hear then all this episode, what is going on. And how to be careful? Well, clear, simple thing or the real thing is chanting audibly, attentively, in association of devotees, attending morning program, temple program, morning program, reading Srimad Bhagavatam. If I'm not reading Srimad Bhagavatam, if I'm not studying Bhagavad Gita, and if I'm not listening to classes, this is the core. Reading, hearing, chanting is the core. If I can think that I can bypass and be Krishna conscious without reading, hearing, chanting, I'm cheating no one but myself. No one is cheating anyone. No one can cheat anyone. It is only I who can cheat myself. No one else. Others, if I'm wanting or if I'm not that open, all the arrangement will come. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, I believe, chapter 2, text 36, beautiful shloka. In the purport, nice detailed purport, a very nice purport by Prabhupada's disciples. In the purport, somewhere in between or towards the end, four, I think, things or four prayers are mentioned. One of which is what? Krishna, kindly help me see misery in sense gratification. How many of us actually pray like this? How many? Yeah. And forget, this is an assembly of sadhakas. This is an assembly of practicing Krishna conscious devotees, not an assembly of someone who has not yet found his shelter in Srimad Bhagavatam or Krishna. So someone could be religious, but does any religious person, how, how many religious person pray like this? Krishna, kindly help me see faults or miseries in sense gratification. Us sadhakas, we should pray for it, that help me see the miseries in sense gratification. So if we try to, and we shouldn't try really too much understand Maya, no. Just to some extent, more focus if I give on understanding Krishna, more focus if I can give on chanting the holy names, more focus if I can give on devotee association, reading, hearing, studying, then rest everything will appear. Krishna will make everything whatever is to be known and whatever is not to be known. I'm tiny anyways, I cannot afford to know. I cannot assimilate a lot, and I should not also assimilate a lot. So here how currently things stand is the king, he desired a son. He was so much in bereavement for not having a son, lacking a son, wanting a son, that the son will fulfill me. Angira Muni blessed him with a son to help the king. And in that process, the king had the son Harsha Shoka, lamentation and hankering. Maya again means what? Temporary, something which is temporary. Now, if I should, in practicing Krishna consciousness, I should realize eternity or I should aim for eternity. I'm eternal, I should aim for that. And if I myself do not aim for it, how can I preach? Uh, Going in book distribution, right? If I myself am not convinced, how can I actually distribute book? If I am myself not, so likewise, if I myself am not aiming eternity, how can I possibly preach? And Mahaprabhu wants us to preach. Prabhupada wants us to preach. So aiming for eternity, not temporariness. This is the perfection. Ishopanishad, Krishna says, right, that dukkhalem asasvatam, fault of this world is a world of faults and all. And in Ishopanishad, we see that this world is perfect and complete and whole. What is the perfection? That even though temporary, a jiva and awakened soul, he can attain transcendence. That is the perfection. So one can attain for it. So we should aim for that, the highest thing, for which, yeah, that is what human life is meant for. So the king then wants this son, but not having this son, and finally gets this son. See the ups and downs in life. Finally, get having this son, and so much attention to the son, king and the queen. Of course, understandable. And the uh, other 10 million only wives the king had, only 10 million other wives, and they getting neglected. Now, in their neglect, they poison the child. They poison the child. I'm not sure if we have come there, but sorry. And they poison the child. Now, see, one of the message, or what is the message from this pastime which we are reading so far? If anyone would like to share, what is the message? There are many messages, and of course, many learnings and teachings. One, one of the message I would say is not neglect someone's wife. It's very dangerous neglecting someone's wife. Shishikorantai Mayapur Sashi ki jai. I'm not saying from my personal experience, but maybe I've seen my father's experience. Yeah, that's my mom and dad, though. Yeah, very nice. So, one of the messages what? Do not neglect one's wife. Right? Do not neglect one's partner or girlfriend. And here, King Chitraketu, how far did he went? Minimum 10 million wives neglected. Wow, see. And what is that English, or there is a saying, right? What? Hell, woman, fury, something like that. Uh, so the curse coming. See, for a woman, her strength is what? Chastity. Chastity is a woman's strength. And that is the most powerful than any missile or anything. No, Anasuya was it through her chastity in order to save her husband. She didn't let the sun rise because her husband was physically disabled, yet he wanted to enjoy a prostitute or another woman. I believe it was Anasuya. Huh? He wanted to enjoy another woman. And the wife, such a chaste wife, to fulfill the desire of her husband. Okay, I am not capable to give joy to my husband. Huh? My husband wants to enjoy some other woman. Fine, my husband's enjoyment, and he she arranged. But somehow I won't go into the full story. Consider looking into time. Somehow the his husband was cursed like to die before the sun rises. So Anasuya took this vow: I won't let the sun rise. Until and unless my husband is satisfied, I won't let the sun rise. She, through her power of chastity, she held up. Mahaprabhu writes this in Sishtastkam, Chaitanya Chaitamrit, Antya Lila, chapter 20, towards the last, on the last shloka of Shishtastkam, that this is what surrender means. This is what it means. How to serve someone. So, on those lines. So, again, coming, neglect. Yeah, very powerful. No one should be neglected. And especially in here, neglecting a woman, neglecting children, elderly, anyone in general. But King Chitraketu, what did he do? Messed it up. Neglecting not one woman, neglecting 10 million women. Huh? Be careful what we tap into. Yeah, very, very careful. Prabhupada's teachings, they have to be understood. What is Prabhupada's teachings, his mood, his mission, not superficial. Yeah, Prabhupada says, right, practicing devotional service is like a razor. played. Now, so many things I might have mugged up, I know and all, but do I really know the essence? Do I really know the mood, the message? So that praying, that crying, that Prabhupada, what you have given to me, what you have given to me, so undeserving and giving me the highest thing, that would come about with crying, with praying. Prabhupada's expectations, especially for someone who is a, say, Indian body, Prabhupada has maybe more expectation. Prabhupada has expectations from us. What does he expect? That we read, we chant, we learn shlokas, we recite shlokas. Now, in this neglect, being neglected, what did the wives do? Poison the child. I'm trying to see the mood in the camp, in the palace, in the royal kingdom. King, queen, no? And principal wife, then 10 million only other wives, uh, and not having a child, then getting a child, all the servants, maid servants, and all first not so happy, citizens first not so happy, and then happy and talking, oh, our king, he hasn't got a son, and then finally has a son. King is very happy, everyone happy. The queens are being neglected there, and slowly, steadily building up, boiling up, building up, and boiling up that neglect. Huh? And the queen is so king and queen is so lost. The main principal queen and the king lost in looking after her Shoka and pampering the baby and the child. Everyone is after their own agenda. Everyone. Who is going to look after Mahaprabhu's agenda? Who? Us devotees only. So this is why I pray that if speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, if I can meditate on the lotus feet of the deities and be any, if I can be as less egoistic as possible, or become no egoistic, no personal agenda. If I really want to be in the personal life of Mahaprabhu, then I have to give up the personal agenda. Tame dui na samay. So personal agenda and this Krishna consciousness, they do not go together. No, Maya and Krishna do not go together. This is why no one has been able to enjoy Maya. But enjoyment for with Krishna is real and it is available. So if we can tolerate, if we can have patience, if we can take good guidance association. So we see the mood in the palace could be like the queens being neglected. Now the queens sharing friendship with each other. I could be a bit speculating here. So I could be a bit imagining here, but please grant me that permission. It could be at a material, applying my material logic, say, it could be that 10 million wives may not be very good friends with each other. Hmm. It could be like 10 million wives may not be very good friends with each other. I will just restrict it here myself. But in this instance, they might have all gone in cooperation. Another, what is that? Enemies, enemies, my friend, or something like that, they say, right? Yeah, the enemy of my enemy is my. So it could be that the 10 million other queens may not be in very good friendship with each other, but in this instance, they all agreed, hmm, that okay, yes, this is where we handshakes, because we all have this being, we are feeling left out, and we have this common agenda. We want the king's attention. We are also queen. uh, why doesn't the king look after me, and all these things, and this all this pops up, slowly steadily builds up. When I forget my relationship with Mahaprabhu, then all this will pop up. But if I take things as an austerity, praying to Mahaprabhu, then yes, there is light, there is hope. I can internally, I will experience that thing. That this neglect is so good that Mahaprabhu is helping me for something bigger, something wanting me to come in his internal entourage. So, another thing, one thing is right, another thing is proper. When getting neglected, the queens, did they go a bit too far in poisoning the child? Was it right or proper to poison the child? Now, who is coming forward to take this blame, to take this responsibility? If someone is a man, the definition of man or someone's masculinity is what? Shown by one's self control. One's self control. Courage is shown by what? How much responsibility one takes of one's wrongdoing. Bhagavatam doesn't say that mistakes are not to be made. To err is human, right? If I am not going to make mistake, who is going to make mistake? Saintly personalities or demigods going to make mistake? No. Also, this doesn't give me the license to make mistake. Sadhaka is what? One who is making mistakes, one who makes mistakes, but who realizes that he has made a mistake. No. And pure devotee, one who doesn't make mistake. That doesn't mean grammatical mistake or mathematical mistake. Pure devotee, one who is completely taken shelter of Krishna, one who doesn't make philosophical mistake, or one who knows the highest subject matter. Say. So, in this instance, did the queens, I wonder, I think, did they go a bit far? Could the situation be avoided? Could it be turned? Could it be dealt or deal with something in a better way? Yes, why not? Yes. Huh? The queens could have opened up, the king should be listening, and it is not just the queen's fault or the king's fault. The thing I'm trying to help myself understand is, in this whole pastime, where do I fit in? Am I sometimes becoming the king? Am I sometimes becoming the queen? Am I sometimes becoming the 10 million, one of those 10 million queens? Am I sometimes like, who do I associate with? With the maid servants? Where do I stick in? Or am I actually somewhat in the lines where Narada Muni, Angira Muni? Is there what my understanding is? Where do I fit in? Or where do I want to fit myself in? Where do I want to fit myself in? It's very easy. Oh, that king made a blunder. You know, what's the deal? Could the king, after all, he was a king, he was religious, pious. How could he make this blunder? Or this 10 million wives, someone could have helped them and all. So it's very easy. And when the reality strikes, the present moment strikes, very difficult. So the queens, did they take things too far off? And now, who is claiming responsibility? Na? That is the beginning of life. Acknowledgement, taking ownership, taking responsibility, remorse. Human form of life without remorse is like shallow. Without remorse, without that repentance, it is shallow. Genuineness. So, yeah, the king has a role to play, the queen has a role to play, the 10 millions uh, queens have a role to play. Everyone has a role to play, and Narada Muni, Angira Muni, they are playing their role. And in this life also, I am playing a role. And what is the role I want to play? So one should be respectful of women. Women actually, they deserve even more higher respect than what we think of. We cannot offer even that respect actually to women than what they are capable, caliber of, what is their position and all. We struggle to understand the sanctity, say, of womanhood. Hmm? And men, someone in a man body, someone in a woman body as well. Woman body, someone in a woman body should also understand one's position and chastity and loyalty, say, and someone in a man's body. And life is not for casual fun. Life is not for cheap casual fun. See, here it could have been that the king and queen having power, position, could they be misusing the power, abusing the position? The 10 million wives, queens, could they be misusing the power, position, exploiting and all? So life is not meant for that, at least for us sadhakas. Again, to err is human, but then how do we come out of it or how do we deal with it? Also, it doesn't give me any license to commit mistake. I will try to close perhaps here, but one last thing. Something is ignorance and another is cheating. Which is more lethal? One is ignorant, another is cheating. Cheating one can never do in ignorance. One can never do cheating in ignorance. Cheating is always in awakened state. This is why Janiya Suniya Vishakhainu. This is for whom? This is for me. This is not for someone who is not into Krishna consciousness. This is personally for me. Janiya Suniya Vishakhainu. Yeah. So one thing is ignorance. Perhaps the king was in ignorance. Perhaps the principal queen was in ignorance. But those 10 million wives, were they in ignorance or were they wanted to do this cheating? So ignorance is one thing. Krishna doesn't mind ignorance, okay. Ignorance can be understood. But cheating is something very difficult to take on board. Betrayal, loss of trust is very difficult to take on board. So, for us, practicing Krishna consciousness, three shlokas, three messages should always be in our remembrance. One is Naham vipra na cha narupati napi vaishyo na shudro Naham varni na cha grihapati navanasto yatirva Kintu prodyan nikhila paramananda purnamritabder Kopi bharto padakamalayur dasa dasanudasa. Had the king, queen, the principal queen, and those 10 million wives realized I'm Das Das Anudas, and if I realize Das Das Anudas, this is my position. Another message which I should be imbibing is Tatte anukampam susamikshamano bhunjanaivatmakritam vipakam हित्वाक्वपुर्भिर्विदधन् नमस्ते जीवेत ये मुक्तिपदे सिदाय bhag. That whatever is coming is my only sins, my wrongdoings, and I tolerate. The day I learn to tolerate, the kingdoms of heaven will be open for me. But if I do not learn to tolerate, if I do not learn to take ownership, responsibility, and lastly, Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than a straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects unto others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Now, to neglect a woman, wife, partner, girlfriend, or play around with someone's emotions. Here, some emotions are being played around, right? Playing around with a man's feeling or a woman's feeling, playing around with a supposed to be girlfriend's feeling, supposed to be boyfriend's feelings. In society, actually, it is someone has a boyfriend and a girlfriend, then also secretly another boyfriend or a girlfriend just for some chit chat, right? How many apps, how many dating platforms and all are there? This is something asadhakas know. So having like a girlfriend, okay, it's my girlfriend, but okay, she's away, fine also, simultaneously, no. Understanding, na? So not to play with anyone's feelings or emotions. If I remember these shlokas, these three messages, then help is there. I need not play with someone's emo, and I won't feel neglected. I will always feel nourished. One could well be living in jungle, but yet be Krishna conscious and nourished. Yes, it is possible. It is possible, and we are blessed to be in Karuna Bhavan, in this association of devotees, where which is built upon book distribution and that preaching effort and all. Vrinda Devi, Shaligram Shilas. So not to play with someone's feelings and emotions, men or yeah, especially women. Another to end like again I told right. mm, I've seen my dad neglecting my mom's say desires or wanting and all. Bless him, he doesn't. But just to add, say, uh, one of the maybe one or two best teachings my father passed me on as we were growing up, me, my sister, and my brother. Like when he would come from the shop after in the evening, and if I been a bit naughty or say my sister been a bit naughty, say not listening to my mother and disturbing, say my mother would tell to my father, and my father would say, do what your mother says, even if you do not agree by it, even if it doesn't make sense, even if you do not understand, just follow what she says. Now I'm trying to understand this, that not necessarily everything is not black and white, that oh it is not sense making to me, I do not understand it. At that time I might have told my father, no, I do not understand. But my father said, you do as your mother says. When you grow up, you will understand. Huh? Grow up. Do not rush. Do not rush. Grow up. Fine, you are committing mistakes, but try to follow what your mother is saying. And then when you grow up, you will understand. I will end, I'm sorry. I will end. Prabhupada again in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 7 or 8 somewhere. Definitely between 4 and 8. Beautiful. In the purport, and I'm sure we all would have read it and we all would have loved it. And anyone who reads it will like it. What does Prabhupada say? A sincere sweeper in the street is much better than a is much better than a charlatan meditator, a pretender. You know, is much better. Now, what does Prabhupada want us to be? What does Mahaprabhu want us to be? And sincerity, I don't have to build a temple. I don't have to do something. That is something later. If Mahaprabhu, whatever he wants me to use me. But first, if I can be a bit sincere. So something on those lines. Any thoughts, questions, or comments or clarifications, please? Yes, Prabhu.
A couple of things. I just wanted to share that when I was younger, I used to look up to my father like a hero. And as I became a teenager, then I decided that he didn't know anything. And then when I left home, I realized actually maybe it wasn't so bad. Then I realized actually it was right, and it was me. I didn't understand, so I could relate to that. And I think that's a very good point, that in spiritual life, we don't understand often instructions are there or why they would be there, and it seems like maybe the last thing we want to hear. But that's it's there to help us overcome the ignorance which we have, and if we resist that, then we're stuck back in ignorance still. Yeah, and also just wanted to mention on the verse, it talks about visible attachments are like, like wife, children, property, etc. They're like dreams and mental concoction. I think the interesting word here is like, because it's not mentioned that they are dreams. It's like they're like dreams. I wonder if you could just say a couple of words about that.
Thank you. I can. Yeah, it's not like very nice. They're not dreams. They're like dreams. Just Shrimad Bhagavatam class or in general, a sadhaka should realize that he's short of time. Like, I'm short of time now, running out of time, but I'm sorry, cannot help it. But genuinely, a sadhaka should realize that I'm short of time. Imagine a karmi Does he not realize, oh, I'm running out of time, the movie is about to start, I'm running out of time, football is about to start and all. So sadhaka should feel that I'm running out of time. And we'll experience that reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is mysticism. We enter into it. This is non-sectarianism. When will we enter into it and all? So yeah, woman, wife, children, they are like dreams, not dreams. In the sense, again, water in the mirage. It looks like water. It is water. It looks like water, but will it quench my thirst? It won't quench my thirst. It won't make me completely happy. So, like dreams, as in woman, children, and all, that's relationship is temporary. Dream means what? Temporary, right? Have we ever experienced a permanent dream? How we sleep, maybe someone could be sleeping, say, as less as 6 hours, 4 hours. But in that 5 hours, does any person say, I had a 5 hour dream? Or one could be sleeping 12 hours. Does anyone say, I've had a 4 hour dream? Dream means short lived, right? Dream is temporary. If I want to make my dream long lived, take on to the message of Mahaprabhu. Then permanent dream, as in permanent happiness. That is, if dream becomes permanent, means it is reality. That is reality. So dream means short lived, like dreams, as in the relationships are very short lived. They are temporary, yet they are there, yet they are true, and that affection should always be there. That spirit of relationship should always be there with mother, father, wife, husband, children, and understanding boundaries, respecting boundaries, how to deal with the jiva, the relationship to have with jivas, the relationship to have with Vaishnavas, the relationship to have with Guru Maharaj, the relationship to have with Prabhupada, the relationship to have with Krishna. So, like meaning they are like dreams, as in very short lived, and they cannot saturate me. But I cannot say that they are Maya, that they are Maya. No. Or wife is Maya, woman is Maya. Maya is very, the definition, no? It's so nicely Prabhupada given, but maybe I'm not reading books. I'm not associating with devotees. I'm not doing japa properly. So, like dreams is like dreamvat, swapnavat, like a dream, that it is apparently real, but not really real. And this is the realm I'm living in, apparently real. And now I want to take on the journey to be really real. That is the journey of Srimad Bhagavatam. So if I understand the definition of Maya, and and, and many things on like these dreams, like Prabhupada in second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, text 1 to 4 onwards, um, uh, apashyatam atvatatvam pashyanapi na pashyati, seeing but not seeing, yeah? Seeing but not seeing, and infallible soldiers, taking them as infallible soldiers as my permanent support. So that is what like dreams, that they everyone is infallible, but if I hook on to that infallible, taking to be the permanent, if that somewhat helpful.
So you were just saying, if you don't mind me, just carry on. Yeah, as a sadhaka, we should feel we're run out of time. And I thought it's a very important thing because in order to protect ourselves from Maya, well, we can't protect ourselves, but to get the shelter of Krishna, we have to feel a sense of urgency. Without that urgency, then we're just in the grip of the lower modes. And when you feel we're running out of time, whatever age we are, because padam yadvi padam, danger at every step, we don't know. We might think, oh, okay, I've got another 50 years to go. We may have another 50 minutes. And therefore, when they say a sannyasi, because Prabhupada said ISKCON is a movement of sannyasis or a movement of paramahamsas, which are even more so, when we wake up, the mood of a sannyasi is that today I will surely die.
Mm.
He's thinking like that because one of those days it will be true.
Mm. Mm.
And therefore he's preparing his mind that, okay, if this is the day when I'm going, then I better get my mind in check.
Mm. Mm.
So I think that's a very good point there, that a sadhaka realizes we're running out of time, because we realize if we're not a devotee, then we tend to think, even though, what is the most amazing thing?
Say sense enjoyment.
No,
Oh,
Yudhishthira Maharaj
everyone is
question.
passing away, but he thinks, okay, I may not be passing away, or I have got life left.
Kachanti
Yeah.
Hayamalayam.
Yes.
That he sees death everywhere.
Mm.
You know, different species are dying every day. He's seeing it, but he thinks, I will not die. This is the most amazing thing. I think it was Yamaraj asked that question,
Yes.
wasn't it?
Yes. Yamraj asked this to Maharaj.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to say I appreciate that point. that that sense of feeling that we're running out of time, because it is a fact, and that can be, even if it may be a bit fearful to begin with, it can be an inspiration to utilize our time effectively, so that we don't come at the end of this life with regrets.
If we study properly, if we study acharyas and all, then that fear could still be there. But then that fear, no, Krishna says, do not worry. So he understands that the fear is there. So do not worry. That could be there. Material world, the modes are strong, the modes will be there. But if I'm Krishna conscious, one can make it through. One can make it through. So help is throughout there. Provided who wants help. Now see in this king, hundreds and hundreds of teachings and learnings. Na? 10 million queens. Maybe they were thinking there is no help, but help is round the corner if I actually pray and want that help.
One thing that Prabhupada did say about fear, he said that the problem with his disciples is they weren't sufficiently afraid of Maya.
Yes, yes. See, I will end here. This perspective, perhaps, na. One is very often I say, or someone may say, right? Maya is very strong. Oh, Prabhu, Maya is so strong. Maya is so strong. How often do I say that I am very weak or I am weak? It is easy to say Maya is strong, no doubt Maya is strong. But if I acknowledge a bit more that I am weak, eh, then we go on saying others. But it begins with I, it begins with me, that I am very weak. Now, do I want to remain weak or do I want to be strong? That is the question. Krishna consciousness actually should hit someone on the face. Should actually hit someone on the face. These teachings, these writings, and the message, what if it has not hit me on the face? It's not like a kitty party going on here. Oh, yes.
Just in relation to that point, I'm just thinking back to before I joined the temple. It did hit me on the face. I was I was searching, but then when I found it, it was like, oh no! Now that I've found it, and all my plans that I had, for becoming like a professional musician or this or that, or I had other plans, like all my plans, just the bottom fell out of them. And even though I tried to continue with them, there was just no impetus to continue with them. And kind of reluctantly, I joined the temple, knowing that I had to do it. If I don't follow this, I'm going to lose this consciousness. So yeah, it was a smack in the face by
Yes.
Krishna's mercy. So it's not a bad thing, if it means that we spend this life in Krishna's service and go back to Godhead.
Yeah. I mean, a conditioned soul, what do we expect? Will it not hit me on the face? A conditioned soul, it is going to hit him on the face. Some things a conditioned soul should never be given. A realized conditioned soul says, Krishna, please do not give me free time. Please do not. See, this is very unfair, very uncare or unfair. Giving a conditioned soul, a sadhaka, even free time. Krishna, please do not give me free time. Another, Krishna, please do not give me choices or options. A conditioned soul should not, a sadhaka conditioned soul perhaps should not be given too many choices or options. No, then it's very difficult. Huh? And what Krishna conditioned sadhaka? Do not let me understand I have free will. Why- huh? Please free me from this free will you? This is why Rupa Goswami's teachings, instructions, devotee association, devotee care. huh? How can I free myself from free will? If I really want to fly like a free bird, I better give up my free will to my spiritual master, to Mahaprabhu, to Prabhupada. If I want to experience that freedom, if I really want to experience time, then yeah. Otherwise, like too much of freedom, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. Don't give free time, don't give choices, don't give make him realize or understand that free will. That Krishna, please take my free will. Diksha kale bhakta kare atma samarpan. Atma samarpan, na? What does it mean? Yes. I allow myself to be trained. Doesn't mean that yes, I become a devotee now. Okay, now I surrender unto you. No, it doesn't mean that, yes, I attend the full morning program, I do 16 rounds and shlokas, everything. So I'm prepared, yes. So you can initiate me now. No. Atma Samarpan, I allow myself to be corrected. I allow myself to be trained. I allow to give my free will to you. I will make mistakes, but I allow to be corrected. ग्रंथ राज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की शिला प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी
His Grace Bhakta Ashish ki.